Hi, everybody. I hope you're all joyful, filled with the spirit of Christmas. And if you're not, then it is okay too. If you are safe and warm with your cupboard stocked, even just half full, then you are fine. And I'm reaching out to you with a virtual hug today. You are fine. You're doing okay. And I love you. Okay, guys, I just had to start this video with sort of my own mantra because that is all we can do to stop the negativity from getting to us. It certainly helps me to know that there are people out there who care. And for all of you, I want to say thank you. I am ever so grateful. Thank you. We are not where we need to be yet, but we are getting there. And I'm so grateful. It is like this bright light at the end of the tunnel. And although we are still crawling to get there, at least we feel like we are moving along. Okay, so on that very positive note, let's get on to less positive things. And I'm issuing a warning. And I'm issuing a warning right here, right now. You guys know by now that I am a monarchist, not a Charlesist. Okay? I love and adore William and Catherine, but they are 2 to 3 years older than my own children. So, like with my own, if they do good, I praise them. If they do something I don't agree with, I say so. So if you can accept those two things, then continue listening because every single thing in this video can be verified. Nothing, absolutely nothing, is made up or sucked from my thumb. So, if you're brave enough, here we go. Firstly, Harry has been ordered to pay the Mail on Sunday £48,000 in legal costs after he lost the attempt to strike out part of the paper's defense in his libel case. Please note, he lost the attempt to strike out A&L's defense or part thereof, and that is what he is paying A&L's legal costs for. It is not a deposit of some kind, it is not for anything else, but the fact that he lost this particular part of the case, and the money must be paid to the newspaper on or before the 29th of December. A hearing on Justice Nicklin's decision was indeed to be heard on Tuesday. Yes, Harry and his money-hungry lawyers, who is getting paid for absolutely every appearance, does not know when to stop. They are like dogs with a bone. They will still fight over it, chew on it, even when it no longer has any meat on it or marrow in it. However, Justice Nicklin has obviously had enough of Harry's BS, and in his written order, he made it clear, very clear, that the hearing will not happen. The actual libel trial will commence sometime between May and July 2024 if a settlement cannot be reached beforehand. The only just settlement I personally can think of is Harry apologizing, paying the £48,000, and whatever other cost A&L may have had since. But I doubt that will happen. So we'll likely see the case go to trial. And I think it will go to trial in July. I heard a birdie whisper somewhere in the background. Okay, so I hope that clears that up because I've seen so many strange stories about this case. So this is how it is, okay? No, nothing else and excuses and it's a deposit and this and that. No. He has to pay this money to the newspaper on or before the 29th of December. and it is because he lost that particular part of the case. The rest of the case will still be heard next year. But, I guess with all these cases that he has going on, it can get confusing. And I must admit that until I actually went to the trouble to go look it up, I also did not really know what was what. But let's get to the other case, the one where Harry was just awarded £140,000. Now, this is a case which had my blood pressure spiking. So before I say another word, I want to read the introductions to a few articles to you. 9 News. On the 15th of December 2023, Prince Harry won his phone hacking lawsuit Friday against the publisher of the Daily Mirror and was awarded £140,000 or $180,000 in the first of his several lawsuits against British tabloids to go to trial. My Fox Zone. Prince Harry's phone hacking victory is a landmark in the long saga of British tabloid misconduct. Each and every publication, from Hindustan in India to IOL and News 24 in South Africa, leads with Prince Harry won or Prince Harry's victory. And if you haven't yet gotten behind the story, then I think it is my duty to tell the story. Okay, I find it sickening how supposed royalists, the Charlie fans, and in general, those who are supposedly trying to spin the following. The spin is that Harry's win or Harry's victory is not really a victory because he only got £140,000 of the £440,000 he wanted. He only got a positive outcome on 15 out of 33 claims. Now, let this old lady educate the people who are trying this particular gaslighting technique. Firstly, I'm not gaslit because I know better. I'm sorry. I mean, I lived a life. I know better. Can't help it. Sorry. I'm not trying to be clever. 1. A legal win is a legal win. There is no such thing as win but. The judge's verdict is win or lose, not you won but. Okay? And Harry won. He won regardless of no findings on 18 claims. He won regardless of being unable to bring a single shred of evidence. He won based on feelings and suspicions. And that, my dear friends, is unlawful and points at corruption of sorts. Harry won, regardless of the fact that one of the key witnesses was not called to testify. Piers Morgan was the editor of the Mirror at the time, yet he wasn't called to testify. Piers Morgan is mentioned, named, and slandered in the filing, yet he is not called to testify and defend himself. That, my dears, is unlawful and points at corruption of some sort, no matter whether you live in the United Kingdom, the United States, South Africa, India, Australia, New Zealand, wherever you live. A person has a right to stand up and speak for himself in a court of law. So let me read you another newspaper headline or two. Tatler, 15th of December. King Charles visits High Court just ahead of its seismic ruling on Prince Harry's claim against the Mirror Group newspapers. Hello Magazine. King Charles makes surprise visit to High Court ahead of Prince Harry's court judgment. Okay, so a surprise visit means it was not written into the royal calendar 6 months ago. So why a day before his son's fairly major, fairly important case is being decided? And who did the king arrive with, I dare ask? None other than the Lady Chief Justice of England, Baroness Carr of Walton on the Hill. Now please hear me out. I am 100% sure King Charles knew that there was going to be a judgment on Harry's claim on Friday. So why would he visit the High Court on Thursday? Do you want to tell me that not a single courtier, not a single adviser, his wife or his other son, would have advised against them going to the High Court on Thursday, on that particular day, the day before Harry's case is being decided? Do you seriously want to tell me that none of them told him how it would look? Seriously? I do not believe it. Every visit of the king is vetted, considered, discussed, weighed before it is decided on. Do you want to tell me that the king himself did not know or understand how it would look? Is he stupid? No, no, the king is not stupid, and the king is experienced, having been in the job for 54 years. He knew exactly how it would look. So now that the photographs are out there, we can deduce one, two, all three of the following. Number one, the king does not care what the public say or think. He'll do what he wants, when he wants, because he is king. Okay? Number two, the king did interfere with Harry's verdict in the mirror case. Or, thirdly, he made sure to appear at the High Court the day before the verdict as a show of support for Harry and a middle finger to us, giving us the message that he supports his son and will not take his titles. Or then number four, all of the above. So don't blame me. You choose. I'm not going to choose for you. But all I know is that you cannot tell me one day that the royals do say or wear nothing without a purpose, and then the next day tell me that it is just coincidence. You can't tell me one day that Charles has a history of interfering with politics, that he previously interfered with cases like the one against Michael Fawcett, but that he won't interfere in a case his son is involved in. Now, all I can say is decide what you want to believe and, at the very least, stick to it, because it can't be both. No matter what, it is either or, can't be both. Yes, some of you will say I'm taking a swing at your king again. But your king is giving me every opportunity, every reason to do so. And not only me, go listen to the royal grift. I'm constantly being told to go listen to the royal grift. Why don't you abuse her for her opinion, which is very, very much like mine? Or are you abusing her opinion and I just don't know about it? Look, had I been complaining about the way he combs his hair, I would have been petty and trying to force my opinion on you. But here we have a situation in black and white, with color photos to boot, of the king at the High Court on the day before there is a judgment in a case his son is involved in. I cannot unsee what I see, pretend it did not happen, or pretend that it doesn't look the way it looks. Okay, back to Harry. Somebody who really thinks this is actually a loss for Harry just does not understand how somebody like Harry's mind works. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I have been around addicts, the spoiled rich, narcissists, schizophrenics, have had bouts of depression myself, and had lived a life of pretty high highs and very low lows. And I can tell you guys, the money is not Harry's number one priority. It may be Meghan's, but it's not Harry's. For Harry, it is about power. It is about being the boss, about stomping his feet until he gets what he wants. For Harry, it is about being right, about being important, about being a victim, about his savior complex, about saving Meghan and saving the world, about destroying the British press, and as bonus, hurting Piers Morgan and a few others. Who can forget what he said about Rebecca Brooks? Remember him calling her an infected pustule on the arse of humanity? Remember that? That's what he said about a journalist doing her work, a woman, a female. Disgusting. Why aren't we talking about that kind of behavior? But everyone's looking at the press. What about Harry? So, getting back to Harry, that is what these cases are about for Harry. I think if it was only up to him, he would use his very last penny to pursue and harass the British media. He is obsessed. And if you hear some snoring, it's my dog right behind me, the yellow one. Harry sees and hears only what he wants to see or hear, and the words won and victory in these captions are all that matters to Harry. Remember, when he was still a working royal, someone else had to worry about the money and paying the bills and working out the logistics. And indeed, it is likely still the same. Harry only cares about the win. We all know Harry has an issue when it comes to maturity. We have worked out that mentally he is stuck at about 12 or 13. He may, and I think he has, grown a little since striking out on his own in Montecito, but guaranteed he hasn't yet surpassed 15 or 16. This verdict may be hurtful to his counsel. I mean, less money. And it may be hurtful to his wife. I mean, less money. But for Harry, it is a win. A win is a win is a win. And this will feed his delusions, and it will feed his confidence. And I'm willing to bet that this will not be the last time Harry sues a newspaper or media outlet. He actually said so himself when he said, "I've been told that slaying dragons will get you burned, but in light of today's victory and the importance of what it is doing, it is a worthwhile price to pay. The mission continues." Okay? So those saying the fact that he got less than he wanted and he was chewed out by the judge, blah, 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 and the rest is just hardcore PR. No, no, no. You, my dears, are being used as PR to gaslight us. The law is the law, and the law tells me that the statute of limitations for libel in the United Kingdom is 1 year. Now, phone hacking in the United Kingdom falls under Section 79 of the Regulation of Investigatory Powers Act 2000. Now, actually, the whole claim should not have gone to court in the first place, but instead to the investigatory tribunal, and only if they could not resolve it as last resort the court. Or if the tribunal finds that somebody is guilty, then he could or should be charged in a court of law. And again, the statute is 1 year. Of course, we are talking about reporting it within 1 year of the incident, even though it can take 1, 2, 3, 4 years before it gets to court. So, the statute of limitations on Harry's case against the Mirror has expired 12 or 13 years ago, as the last alleged incident was in 2009, 14 years ago. So, regardless of whether he brought no proof, only feelings to court, it should not even have been entertained in the first place. That is also why Elton John and his buddies had drawn Harry into this, because without him, the statute of limitations would have been applied. Yes, my dears, one rule for us and another for royalty. And that, my dears, makes me mad, so mad, because at the end of the day, they shit and bleed just like us. Okay, guys, that's it. Off I go. Tonight I want to continue editing Lucian's Children. I must admit, I was a bit depressed at the lack of interest and rather despondent. And that is why I did not continue with the editing of Lucian's Children or the writing of Kings and Queens, but I am slowly pulling myself out of that negative hole, and I will soon start writing again. Please take good care of yourselves until we meet back right here again on the next one. Bye.